Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer. Welcome to the Impactful Engineer. Our mission is to help you grow your engineering career and inspire you to pursue your full potential as not only an engineering professional, but as a member of your greater community. I'm Steve Maxey, and I have about 15 years of experience in new product development, first as a mechanical design engineer and now as a manager and mentor to other engineers. Within this podcast, we do have a few episode formats. Normally, my brother Jake and I present a topic where we introduce the why and the how around that topic and give some tips to inspire some action. About once a month, we will have a long format guest episode where we bring in experts in a particular field to share their perspective, mindset, and actionable tips around their area of genius. And since Jake is out sick today, I am recording one of our quick solo episodes that immediately gets down to the point and shares an idea with you that is critical to growing your career. So with that, let's get down to it. All right. So even as high performers, we do get critical feedback. Sometimes this feedback can really dig into our egos, and if we aren't careful, it can push us to an emotional response that is going to hurt more than help our situation. So today, I want to quickly cover the do's and don'ts of getting critical feedback. So first off, let's talk about the don'ts. So first, don't react defensively. All right. I want you to avoid responding with immediate justification or counterarguments. Being defensive will shut down any meaningful dialogue between you and the person giving you that feedback. You may not think the feedback is true, but the reality is that someone thinks it is. So no matter how absurd or narrow that perspective is, you just need to listen to it. All right. So what you will need to do after you get this feedback is to figure out why that perspective exists and address it as proactively and positively as possible. All right. So with that, you don't need to take it personally. So keep the focus on your work or behavior rather than your character. So this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see, especially when I have given feedback to direct reports. When I give critical feedback to another engineer, it's not because I'm being an asshole or trying to bring them down. It's quite the opposite. I care about them succeeding, so I'm giving the feedback so they can make some adjustments to start kicking ass. It's my job to make sure I'm communicating that feedback in a manner that comes across that way, but it's their job to not take the feedback personally and logically look at how to make the needed adjustments. So, when you are getting feedback, you don't interrupt the person when they are giving it to you. Let them finish their points before you start asking questions or responding. Interrupting can only signal disrespect, and it will automatically make them think that you are reacting defensively. So not interrupting also allows you more time to think on and absorb what is being said in the moment. When you suppress your reactivity, you can think more clearly and be more calculated in your response. Another reason why you want to let them finish is because they may wrap up their feedback with helpful guidance to make corrections or even offer praise in other areas of your work. Interrupting them will shut this off, which does not serve your best interest. The last one is one of my biggest pet peeves when I'm giving feedback. Don't blame others or make excuses. You do not shift what is your responsibility onto others. Nothing is worse than hearing people say, well, I was waiting on Sally, or Bob didn't do his part correctly. Ultimately, every project you are involved with is your responsibility for its success. Did you follow up with Sally on a regular basis to make sure she had all the tools needed to get her part of the project done? Did you see Bob struggling with his part of the project and not offer support in how to best execute on what he was working on? You need to take ownership of the project you are involved with, no matter if the task is yours or not. And never just make excuses about your poor performance. Instead, you need to own that feedback as a learning opportunity and work on whatever solution is needed to turn that perspective around. All right, so let's quickly go over the do's when you're receiving this feedback. So first, you need to listen actively, right? Pay close attention without interrupting. Absorb the feedback with an open mind. And if you are getting the feedback, it's true from someone's perspective. So let's fix that with urgency. So next, stay calm and collected. Control your breathing, right? That always helps you to lower your blood pressure, etc. And maintain your composure while listening and responding. Make sure your response is measured and thoughtful. Separate your work from yourself, right? We sort of already covered this, but remember that criticism targets your work or behavior, not your worth as a person. This is an opportunity for you to grow as a professional. I bet the person giving you the feedback likes and respects you. Otherwise, they may not be willing to give you that feedback in the first place. So one of the most important things is to ask clarifying questions. If anything is unclear, ask for examples or further details to fully understand the issue. This is how you get specific examples that will help jog your memory and allow you to pinpoint where you have slipped in your work. Also, often feedback can be generic. I've had this many times myself, which is super unhelpful most of the time. This is your opportunity to get where the feedback comes from so you can more accurately address the shortcomings swiftly. And after you wrap up the conversation, reflect and plan. Take time to assess the feedback and develop an actionable plan to improve your performance. You will be in an emotional state during the feedback conversation, so don't lay out your plans right then and there. Take the time to think on it and then work on your plan. And finally, and also really importantly, express gratitude. Thank the feedback giver for their input, showing that you value their perspective and see it as an opportunity for growth. This is important because if you push back or leave in a negative mindset, that person may never want to give you real feedback again, right? Real feedback again. They may give you generic feedback from that point on. So this is your opportunity to let them know that you appreciate their willingness to be uncomfortable and give you candid, critical feedback. Because trust me, as a manager, it sucks having to do it. I'd much rather give praise because people are winning. But if I see that my feedback is having a positive impact on someone's career, I will be more open and willing to give solid feedback to their path of success. So to wrap this up, the next time you're on the receiving end of critical feedback, whether it is from your manager, a peer, or even a friend, I want you to listen to it completely first. Thank them for giving you that feedback. Ask some well-intentioned follow-up questions and take that information home and make a plan of attack to win tomorrow. And if you haven't received any critical feedback lately because you're so awesome, ask for it so you can practice following this advice, because reps will improve your ability to receive the harder feedback in the future. And you might even find an area where you need to grow right now. So if you learned anything today, or you think someone else needs to hear this point of view, please share this episode. It's the best way that we can grow this podcast and continue to create value and impact for the engineering community. And if you want a perspective on a specific topic, you can reach out to us on LinkedIn under our names, right? It's Stephen Maxey or Jake Maxey, or simply email us at questions@impactfulengineer.com. So that's all I got for today, folks. So have a kick-ass day.